Welcome back. As we promised, we are going to cover the important visit of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to Egypt, as he first went to Rafah and to El Arish, and after that he was received yesterday by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi as well as Egypt Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry. To shed more light on the visit and on the statements released and on the joint press conference which took place between Guterres and our top diplomat, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone His Excellency Ambassador Ayman Mosharafa, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you very much, sir. Have a very good day first.
Thank you very much, and good morning for you and for the audience.
Very good morning to you, sir. Well, sir, of the most important messages which were said or delivered by Guterres yesterday, he said that the work of the UNRWA must be backed to be able to serve the Palestinians. And today, as we speak, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees said Israel barred it from making aid deliveries in northern Gaza, where the threat of famine is highest. How do you see this as a kind of a very, I don't know how to put it in a polite word, challenging from the Israeli side to the UN Secretary General or to the United Nations in general?
Actually, it's not the first time that Israel is challenging the international community and all the United Nations resolution. From the outset of the crisis in October the 7th, all the international player and all international demands to put an end to this war fell deaf on the Israeli government, and they are continuing on the path of destroying the Gaza Strip and to actually to do a kind of genocide. Up till now, you have 32,000 dead Palestinians and around 80,000 wounded. If you put this number together, it's 110,000. That means around 5% of the Gaza Strip population, plus war crimes like destroying the infrastructure, destroying the hospitals, attacking the UNRWA population.
This is it, sir, and if you permit me to interrupt here, head of the agency, Philip Lazzarini, said on social media, despite the tragedy unfolding, Israeli authorities informed the UN that they will no longer approve any UNRWA food convoys to the north. Lazzarini was with the UN Secretary General here in Egypt during his meeting with the President, and as we speak, already Guterres is in Jordan in one of the camps or buildings affiliated to the UNRWA. It is becoming more bold, more cruel, more rude, if I may call it this way, and more flagrant breach of humanitarian law by Israel, if you agree with me on that.
Yes, of course. I think the purpose of Israel is to destroy UNRWA from the beginning. It's a plan from the Israeli government. They want to finish off the mandate of the UNRWA. It is not from the 7th of October only. It was a plan from several years that the Israeli government want to liquefy all the effort of the UNRWA, which is not only in Gaza, it's in Syria and Lebanon and Jordan. They are serving more than 6 million Palestinians in the diaspora and in the camp. It's a part of the Israeli government to finish off the Palestinian problem, because the UNRWA is a pillar of the international community to help the Palestinian refugees in the camps. So it is not a plan which started from the 7th of October. It's an old plan from Netanyahu since several years, and that invented several pretexts to finish off the UNRWA, like the pretending that the UNRWA employees, they are with Hamas and others, and he has never proven or presented any thing to prove this. I mean, unfortunately, it is something which the Israeli government have a plan to finish off, like our president said, the Palestinian cause, which we refuse totally. And, you know, when we returned to the visit of Gutierrez, it was the first visit to the Rafah border, which he stressed again that he urged the Israeli government to remove any obstacle to the entry of the aid to the Palestinians, and he hailed the Egyptian government that all the crossing borders have been open during this crisis and before that, because the Rafah crossing border, it is the only outlet for passing the Palestinian aid, the international aid to Palestine. Nevertheless, Israel has more than 7 crossing border with the Gaza Strip, but they refuse categorically to open those
Any
crossing
of them,
borders, or even the aid passed through those points are very slow and insignificant to ease the suffering of the Palestinians.
And to add to what you have just said, sir, the World Health Organization's chief, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, said that blocking UNRWA aid deliveries was in fact denying starving people the ability to even survive. Also, another senior UN official said the Israeli authorities rejected even a UN request to send a team to Al-Shifa hospital in northern Gaza, where fighting has flared for almost a week, to evacuate people who are injured. What has this, I mean, when it comes to war, if it is a war, not ethnic cleansing, what a war is when it comes to civilians, when it comes to injured people, when it comes to people who are already on ventilators, how the world is going to react to this when UN chief said it. The world has seen enough from the horrors of war. Will anybody react in a way to be considered as a pressure on Israel?
It is not the UN chief only. It's all most of the European prime ministers. When they made their visits, historical visits to Egypt, they stressed that what's happening in Gaza is not acceptable. And most of the international community, they have filed the case against Israel, that stressing that what is happening is a full-fledged war crime. And I mean, a crime against humanity. But still, I mean, the international community is falling short of taking concrete action against Israel, like imposing a kind of embargo or economic sanctions or any other measures to force Israel to stop the war, or a total embargo on delivering weapons to Israel. Some countries single-handed, like Canada, like other countries, have changing their position due to the pressure of the international opinion. The international opinion, really, I'm hearing them, they are playing a very important role in this war, in trying to force that government to change the course of action and to take measures against the Israeli government. I hope that in the future we would have more pressure on the Israeli government to force them to stop the war.
And yesterday, French President Emmanuel Macron said that he used the same term or the same word you've just used, sir, war crime. But he was speaking about the Israeli will and Israeli announcement that they are going to launch a massive offensive in Rafah. He said that if Israel is really going to implement that on the ground or to launch this offensive, this is going to be a war crime because of the civilians. And this is exactly what was said by UN Chief Guterres, whether in his visit to Rafah or when he was with our top diplomat in the press conference. Do you think that this is a start? Because today there's going to be a vote in the UN Security Council regarding ceasefire, a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Is it going to witness another veto?
I do hope that the security resolution will be passing to condemn clearly and swiftly Israel and to ask for a permanent and conditional ceasefire. The other draft resolution presented by other countries and by the United States for the first time was vetoed due to different wording and different positions from different countries. But I do hope that we will have a strong, as I said, and a swift resolution condemning and forcing Israel to stop this aggression. Because actually a ground offensive on Rafah, it will be a bloodbath. And the President Sisi and Minister Shukri have cautioned against this action. You had 1.5 million Palestinians back in 55 square kilometers. Any kind of bombing or ground offensive will cause a bloodbath in Rafah and will have a far-reaching repercussion on the Egyptian national security and the remaining Palestinian population in Rafah. And I hope that the Israeli government will come to their senses and will never take this action.
The first resolution, which was vetoed by Russia and China, they said it's a weak resolution, and since it was introduced by the U.S., it's only to give Israel the chance to take a breath and to continue what they have started for 5 months. So it's not a ceasefire or a resolution which is going to end with what we call a sustainable ceasefire, so they vetoed it. But today, you are going to find, they called it even the alternative resolution. And they made many other items, particularly regarding the hostages exchange or the hostages also release. Do you think that the writing of this resolution or the terms used are going to be the main obstacles in front of a path for it to reach a ceasefire, even if it is a temporary one?
That's a private opinion, by the way. A weak resolution is better than no resolution. You know, before approving any draft resolution in the Security Council, the 15 member of the Security Council representing the international community are negotiating the blueprint of the resolution and choosing the wording of the resolution. I agree with you that the Americans or the draft American resolution was trying to give Israel a breath or a time breaking. But in the time being, it would help to have a temporary ceasefire to ease the suffering of the Palestinians and to start a real negotiation which will achieve to the exchange of prisoners. And at the end of the day, it would help of a building confidence climate, which would have, at the end of the day, to start a real negotiation for a two-state solution, as our president said.
Amen to that. And in all occasions, the president, the foreign minister, they said that the only solution to stabilize the region and to enjoy peace, it's the two-state solution, two states, and to see the Israeli and Palestinian peoples living side by side without more bloodsheds. But what's going on the ground, unfortunately, by Netanyahu, it's far from peace, far from humanitarian values in general. Sir, I'm going to return back to Guterres' visit and his statements in the press conference, in specific with our top diplomat. But what's going on these days? It's the year of the American elections. The Americans are busy with what they had, whether it's the government shutdown or the presidential campaigns and stuff like that. And particularly when it comes to the presidential elections, of course, the Jewish lobby can play a major role. So even if they can do something, it's not the right timing for them. Is it one of the factors because of which the American administration is not going by any means to press Israel, or it's the same, whether it's the election year or in any time?
It's a two-way game. The advisor of the president advised him that continuing the blind help to Israel would polarize the public opinion of the black lobby and the Hispanic lobby and the Arab lobby, which are traditionally Democrats. They will turn their back to Biden in the election, and they will vote in other directions, or they will abstain, which always the visible minority in the states, they played a very important role in electing any Democratic president since the time of Kennedy. So that's why the president has started to amend his positions and to take very, very small baby steps toward pressuring Israel to stop the bloodshed. But at the same time, the AIPAC, of course, which is a very, very strong and efficient lobby in the United States politics, is going in other direction, and with financial might, of course.
Sure.
And the pressure on the media to advise the president to go ahead, do not listen, and the blind help to Israel would achieve the goal of re-electing you for the second term.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador Ayman Mosharafa, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for your input, sir, and have a very good day. Right after the short break, we are going to return back with more, so stay tuned.